My sellers bought this home in 2023 for $975,000. 3 years later, they called me because I'm the neighborhood expert and they need to sell. They were fully expecting to lose money. This listing wasn't the best home on the block, and that's exactly why I'm showcasing this case study, to show you how I decided to approach it. So in their eyes, they had just bought it 2 years ago. The home was a true 2-bed, 1-bath at 1,030 square feet, no bonus room, no room for expansion. And in this neighborhood, that was honestly kind of a problem. Most competing homes are 2-story properties with additional rooms, expansion potential, or spaces that buyers can convince themselves they'll use one day. So before we even talked about marketing, we had to solve 4 problems. Problem number 1, get people through the door. On paper, this house looked smaller than much of its competition, but in person, the rooms were surprisingly spacious, bright, and honestly super welcoming. So I knew if buyers actually experienced the home, it would compete just fine. Most importantly, I also knew the neighborhood had very stable, comparable sales and a tight price trend. So as long as homes didn't sit too long, it would do just fine. So I recommended something many agents may think is risky, an obvious teaser price at $788,000. So yes, there's a risk. If nobody bites, you could end up chasing the market downward or sitting, but I wasn't worried about finding the value. I was worried about maximizing exposure. So my goal wasn't to sell the home online. My goal was to get every buyer at that price range through the door. Problem number 2 was eliminating uncertainty. So I knew our target buyer was probably a first-time home buyer for a quality starter home. And first-time home buyers are often nervous. They don't just want a house, they want certainty. So instead of hiding flaws, I highlighted them. I created large presentation foam boards that showcased neighborhood maps, completed renovations, and known deficiencies. So most people think selling is about overcoming objections, and I slightly disagree. People are much more likely to change their own minds than have someone else change it for them. So instead of telling buyers not to worry, I gave them the information necessary to stop worrying on their own. They walked through the house, they saw the bright spaces, they read the flaws, and they focused on living in the house and not what was wrong with it as they were walking through it. And they eliminated their own concerns because certainty commands a premium. Problem number 3, the next challenge with the neighboring property was a slight eyesore. Our dining room and kitchen had 4 windows directly facing it. So many people would have frosted all 4 windows. I only frosted 2 that directly impacted privacy because I prefer to overestimate people instead of underestimate them. If I frosted every window, buyers might wonder what I was trying to hide, and uncertainty grows. So the remaining windows allowed buyers to see exactly why the frosting was there, right? Now, problem number 4, every dollar had to count. So remember, my sellers thought they were going to lose money. So that meant every dollar had to produce a return. So no vanity projects, no unnecessary renovations, only improvements that increased confidence. So we repainted the exterior with a bold, modern color scheme and replaced corroded vents, about $4,000. We repaired fungus issues identified during the pest inspection through the inspection company itself. Not because it was cheaper, but it was actually a little more expensive, but because it generated a supplemental clearance report for $1,072. We completed roof repairs through the roof inspector for the exact same reason, $855, another supplemental report, more certainty. And we repaired additional pest items with my contractor, documented everything with photos, and annotated the reports. Then compiled everything into a neat package the buyers could review. We also installed new cabinet hardware that brought texture and modern chic that made the wood cabinets feel purposeful instead of an old afterthought. And we replaced an outdated crystal and gold chandelier with a modern fixture that tied the kitchen, dining room, and living room all together cohesively. So none of these improvements were expensive, but each one reduced hesitation and brought cohesion to what was already there. And the result is that my sellers purchased the home for $975,000. They expected a loss, maybe break even if everything went perfectly, but instead we sold for $1.125 million and achieved the highest price per square foot in the neighborhood. So the lesson is that most people focus on improving the house, and I focus instead on improving buyer confidence, especially on the list side. Because when buyers are confident, they pay more, and that's exactly what happened here. Again, I don't try to eliminate objections. I give buyers enough information to eliminate their own objections. So if you enjoyed the case study, thanks for listening, and try to make it as short as possible. Enjoy the rest of your day. If you have any questions, please give me a call. Thank you.